All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
We're the brothers from the Judgement Church, back with another lesson. Lord willing, the lesson be edifying. Before we get started, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
A double honors to our elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Peace, safety, much love, and blessing to the Akim across the four corners of the earth that are pushing out this truth and sincerity and putting the life on the line to do so. To you brothers, we want to say shalom.
Shalom.
So, yeah, man, we the brothers from the Judgement Church, through the Spirit, we're going to bring out this lesson, out of one Ratazah that is edifying. And basically, man, today is, September 11th. And as we all know, September 11th, 2001 was a so-called tragedy, man, in American history, okay, where the planes were hijacked, supposedly, and flown into the Twin Towers that killed thousands of people. And here it is, what anniversary this is?
18.
This year makes the 18th year anniversary, all right? And we're here to tell you, man, that judgment that happened 18 years ago was righteous judgment from the Lord, okay? When these people see people killed in a mass number, they think that it's always, the devil or Satan, or what possessed somebody to do something like that. And it was the Lord, man, that put the spirit on whoever it was, to run those planes into the Twin Towers. And ultimately, he put the spirit on these Edomites to set that up. Because we all know that what happened in 2011 was set up by the Americans, man. All right, those are self-inflicted wounds. Okay, so, and also, here it is, the 18th anniversary, and these people have totally forgot about it. Because 2002, a year later, you knew when it was September 11th. All right, maybe a few years after that, you knew when it was September 11th. Everybody was flying their flags, halfway. They were doing a moment of silence nationwide on every radio station, every TV network. Basketball game, football games. And they made sure that morale in America was together because of tragedy. And you know how it is when your family don't speak to each other until somebody die. They want to get together. That's the kind of spirit that these Americans were in. They were all camaraderie, hoorah and all that shit for America, when it happened. But here it is 18 years later, and they just in a state of comfortability, man. Okay, they have damn near forgot about it. It's still probably the victims, the family of the victims, they probably still recognize this day to a certain extent. But as far as the rest of these people, hey, they totally blind to it. But hey, that was the act of the Most High. Okay, and you can bring that out. 2 Samuel, whoever got it.
I got it. This is 1 Samuel chapter 2, start at verse 6. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up.
Yeah, hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai does the killing, man. All right. He also maketh alive. He's orchestrating this thing. All right. Everything that you see that takes place on the face of the earth, the Lord has a hand in it. All right. Nothing can be done without Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai giving that green light. Contrary to popular belief, because these people have a big misconception of the Lord. Hey, the scriptures tell you the Lord is a man of war. And a man of war is the type to want blood, man. And is about getting blood, especially when it's a righteous indignation. What the scriptures also tell you that it is a righteous thing to recompense tribulation to those that trouble you. So the Lord is all about revenge. And why is he getting revenge on this place? Because they push out so much wickedness, starting with the so-called white man, and that iniquity had reached to the heavens. All right, they push out all kind of wicked vibrations and abominable things. That's why the Lord is not holding his hand when it comes to these Edomites.
That's right.
And that shit that happened in 9/11, it wasn't none really. The Lord got a particular judgment set up for this place, that's going to be the end all be all of America, man. That's gonna turn this place into a desert.
Yeah, he gonna destroy America, man. That one, little part of New York, being touched, man. The Lord got something way worse than that, man.
I got something for you out. For you, Brother. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. That's right, because the brother was speaking on that the Lord has something in store, for this wicked kingdom, man. And like he was saying, there's nothing that you can do about it, man. Hey, the memorial that's coming for America is the desolation that no one is even going to be able to dwell here, man. All the unclean birds and animals, that's going to be the new memorial for America, man. You can say, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. So, hey, he's not going to destroy his men. He's going to save, his righteous men. Why? Because we've been pushing out, these prophecies and these, the truth like he commanded us to do. But for you wicked people, you got a way worse judgment, than 9/11 coming, man.
There was more, man.
There's some more. I got something for you too, Barack. Amos 9:9. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
Yeah, hey, and right along with these wicked Edomites, 2/3 of our people is gonna be caught up in that destruction too, man. All right, the seed of Israel, but the Lord is not gonna utterly destroy the seed of Jacob. The scriptures speak of 2/3 therein being cut off, and the 1/3 being left therein. Okay, so Israel is not going to be totally obliterated with America. Okay, but 2/3 of our people are, because they're wicked. They're joined into this white man. All right, they looking to the white man as their savior. They're looking to the white man, to get them out of certain situations. Right. They're looking for the white man to come in and step in and be their hero, so to speak. They're not looking to their power, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And I'm speaking on our people, man. Us Israelites. Our people are they got their head so far up Esau's ass till they can't see past America. And for that particular reason, they're going to be destroyed right along with this place. Right? You had something?
Yeah, I just had a quick one this morning I want you to speak about. Is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 1. Says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High.
Yep.
And there shall no torment touch them.
Yeah. Hey, so that's why we do what we do, man. Because we want to be in that number that won't be touched. All right. We don't want to meet the goddamn destruction that the Lord has coming for this place, right along with the 2/3 of our people and these other heathenistic nations.
If I could just say real quick too, with this lesson being on the topic of 9/11. Hey, our apostle had got locked up for that, man. But what happened? The Lord showed that he had him, man. There's nothing that you can do, to where you can destroy, a man of the Lord. Why? Because the Lord is in the hand of the Lord. The judgment is in the hand of the Lord, not to you heathens, man.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point, because even like the subject of the lesson going into 9/11 being a righteous judgment of the Lord, there weren't no elect that died in that judgment, man.
Right. Yep.
Because, and we can firmly say that because there was no testimony of the Lord's judgment with the man of the Lord dying in that so-called tragedy. So that was just a judgment that was purely ordained by the Lord and Savior, by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, for the wicked, man, for the wicked and for heathens.
Right.
And then, if I can just say really quick too, even like the brother Kwadazai mentioned, as far as the persecution that came to the apostles and may possibly come our way as well, that persecution is going to come for the furthering of the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and the scripture you speak about how we're blessed when we're hated, you know, and when we're persecuted.
Yeah.
You see, so Esau can't do anything against the truth but for this truth, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so even like the brother Rock was speaking about earlier, anything that Esau does is only to their detriment. It's for our benefit, because the more that Esau does, understand this also, that Esau works on the left hand side. So the more that Esau does to push forth his agenda, is actually a positive for the elect of Israel, because it's just a further moving forward of prophecy.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got more on that?
Nah, that was just
I got a little bit more on that, Amos.
You go.
Oh,
Okay,
so
after
which
that,
one?
and then hop back to
I got you.
First Samuel.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. This is Amos 9 and verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Yeah, and that's the spirit that these people are in. What was the description? Zephaniah 1 and 12, it said the Lord will do no good or no evil. That's a horrible spirit to have. But you basically saying, like the brother brought that account, that the Lord don't exist. All right? Because, or you don't believe. But hey, Romans 3 and 3 tell you, hey, what if some don't believe? Does that make, you know, the faith of the Most High without effect? Roughly paraphrasing.
Right.
And that's a question. It doesn't. These
Right.
prophecies are still going to take place, man. And all you unbelievers and wicked people are going to die and be fucking totally burnt up with this place, man.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And it behooves you to go ahead and take our word, man, because this is everything coming out of the scriptures, man. This is not our own vain opinion. Okay? These missiles being shot over here in America, even goddamn the scholars that write these different commentaries of the Bible even know that this place is going to be destroyed by a nuclear holocaust, man. Okay? So, you know, you guys can say our apostles got it wrong all you want, man, but we'll see. Like it tells you in Ezekiel 33, when these things come to pass, then we know that the prophet have been among you. Okay?
right.
I'm gonna get this real quick, because in Amos 9 and 10, and it's just one more verse in Amos. In Amos 9 and 10, it says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, right?
Yep.
Even like the brother Rob was speaking about how the unbelief of Jake, but the unbelief of Jake will lead them down a path in which they actively embrace the spirit of being a sinner, man. You know, in which that's a spirit that we fight. So just to clarify what sin is, 1 John 3 and verse 4, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is a transgression of the law. You see, so for the lack of our people understanding, you know, what it is that judgment is going to be established, or what the standard for judgment is. The standard for judgment is based off the law, statutes, and commandments, and then also really all faith as well.
Yeah.
But if you have enough faith in the book in its entirety, then you'll do your best to actually walk within the confines of the scriptures, man, of the law, statutes, and commandments. Because the thing about it too is, and even what oftentimes in which the you know, these so-called Christians don't understand is, you actually have a healthy amount of liberty within the law. You know, you can still do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Even things, honestly, to please the flesh. You can still please the flesh within the confines of the law, but you just can't do it in malice and in wickedness. You can't lay with another man's wife. You know what I'm saying? You can't you know, you can't eat abominable foods. You know what I'm saying? You have to, we're commanded to keep the Sabbath day holy and refrain from certain things.
That's what it's like, if cutting you off.
Good, bro.
But like, you just to add to your point, that's what actually, you know, when the kingdom comes, and we'll be able to actually live by all the law, statutes, and commandments. That's gonna be beautiful, because right now we have the, like you were saying, we have the I wouldn't say the liberty, but we can easily go off. You know, we want to keep the Sabbath. You know, we want to not commit adultery. You know, but us being surrounded by wickedness, hey, you may you know, these women may be lying to us. You know, saying they don't have a man. You know, the Esau mix the days up. You know, you gotta you know, try our best to keep up with the Sabbath days. You know, and the you know, high holy days. You know, so when the laws and statutes and commandments, when they're going to be placed in our inward parts, that's going to be beautiful, man. You know, you got it.
I'm going to go back to that Samuel.
Time.
1 Samuel 2. I'm just going to reread it. 1 Samuel 2 and 6. Yahweh Shem Yahushua killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. Even going to the judgment of 9/11. Okay? You know, we know that 9/11 was an inside job. You know, that the elites of the so-called Illuminati, the elites of Esau, Edom, actually orchestrated that event. But really, it was Yahweh Shem Yahushua putting a spirit on them to do that event. Because they, you know, that was really a sacrifice. That was a sacrifice, you know, killing those thousands of people to, you know, get that spiritual energy to go forth in the next level of their so-called New World Order agenda. You see, but it was really Yahweh Shem Yahushua putting a spirit on them to, you know, believe that was the right thing to do. Continuing on, 1 Samuel 2 and 8. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he have set the world upon them. See, and even like even with us going into this specific topic, that the 9/11, September 11th, 2001, that was a righteous judgment. Okay, because even that, you know, people like to speak about our apostles and go into the so-called 2000 prophecy, man, in which that was an end of an age. For me personally, September 11th, 2001, I remember exactly where I was. 9th grade, I was in social studies class, and my social studies teacher was like completely distraught, man.
Yeah.
Completely like disheveled, like didn't know what was going on. Damn near in tears. Yeah. Like she was damn near in tears, bro. And I'll never forget this day, Lord willing, you know, Avaratazai. She was like, she made an announcement. She was like, ladies and gentlemen, you know, students. She was like, the World Trade Centers are under attack. And she cut the TV on. Yep. You see what I'm saying? We sitting there in class. I'm in 9th grade. And this is all spiritual because we don't, you know, in that time, especially being, you know, me personally, like being like 14 years old, you don't really understand what's going on. Yeah. And, you know, you see like the buildings on fire and all that. Yeah. And then we saw the plane hit the building. Yeah. And I can't. Second one. Yeah. I was on the news. Yep. And I can't remember or not if we actually saw the building collapse, but I just remember like that moment. It's like, damn, like what the hell is going on, man? Right. And it was one of the moments in which the entire nation actually stood still. And even like the brother Rock was speaking about earlier, how, you know, that was a very important moment for Esau, because that was a moment in which all of America was rolling on the train of America, man. All Americans were just, fuck Osama, fuck terrorism, whatever we gotta do, make, you know, to make America strong, and, you know, that whole that patriotic spirit, in which now that whole energy has been debunked, man.
To where it's like we at now, the point we at now is make America great again. Right. You know, it went from that to the spirit of can nobody touch America to make America great again. Right.
And then, you know, to Yadai's point, that whole feeling in America around that time is a totally different spirit than it is now. We was just speaking before we cut the camera on how we didn't even realize today was September 11th. Because that's how far gone that memory and those feelings and that emotional high that the people were on at the time is so far removed from them. We remember a time where you knew it was fucking 9/11. It was like the world almost stopped, you know, to honor those that lost their lives on that day, okay? But now, shit, brothers didn't even know until a brother mentioned it, because that is just America's full of mirth and party and shit, you know, and then the state of being comfortable. America is a goddamn unwalled village, man. Unwalled village is a group of people that are in a state of being as comfortable to the point where they feel like they can't be touched, and that's the point. That's the spirit these Americans are in, man. You know, you don't even fucking know that on this particular day, 18 years ago, thousands of so-called Americans lost their lives, man. All right, to now it's just like whatever, you know.
If I can make a quick point off this off what you said, because I was listening to you know, the news outlets today, and one of the news anchors was speaking about September 11th, and like I said, just like me personally, me knowing where I was in ninth grade, and she was like, you know, you could tell it wasn't sincere before she even spoke about it, but she was like, yeah, I remember when I was in kindergarten and this happened. One of the reasons why I don't have the same effect, because these kids, it's too long ago.
Yeah.
And that's how we know that Esau's gonna be planning more and more of these big events soon. Yeah. Because trying to get America back into that make America great spirit, you know what I'm saying, and come together and unify.
Something gonna have to happen.
These events have to happen to get the spirit back, get Americans back in tune with the agenda of the elites. But the thing about it is, now that the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has come upon this land, it won't ever get to that point. That was the height of American patriotism. Really, if America wanted to make a move, that was the time to go ahead and push World War III. Because even if you think about the state of China, the state of Russia, the state of the BRICS nations, they weren't strong like they are now 18 years ago. Really, America was at the height of its pinnacle. Even the technology boom, Silicon Valley, the height of that was like 97, 98, 99. Then you had the Silicon Valley bubble pop, whatnot, and that's why Esau even pushed that energy in 2001. Really, America's go time was at the turn of the century, man. At the turn of the millennium, because they could have just went ahead and did what they had to do. They came off the so-called victory of the Persian Gulf War. They should have just went ahead and pushed in. But when they hesitated, that was their ass. Because now, even though we spoke about the so-called, you know, people going to the 2000 prophecy, in which that was a stumbling block set up from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to weed out the insincere and those who didn't have the actual faith to endure unto the end. From then until now, the truth is gone. In which now it's too much truth out here. That spirit of truth that's written up in Daniel 12. You even like just going down the road. You go down the road in Georgia, there's a law. You ain't supposed to be on your phone when you're driving. But you drive down the road, everybody on their phone, looking at something. That's the increase of the information, the increase of knowledge written in Daniel 12. In which now the spirit of truth is out here with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Holy Spirit, his men, his prophets being raised up. Now it's too late for Esau.
We got something real quick. Either one of y'all brothers got it. This is Amos 3:6. It says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?"
Yeah, it says, "Should there be evil in this city, and the Lord have not done it?" And really, you know, it's kind of like a rhetorical question, man. Because we already brought the precepts out that the Lord does the good and the evil, man. Because the scriptures speak about that he's a just power, man. You know, he's a balanced power, man. You know, and that's the best way to be, man. You know, unlike you know how you heathens are. You know, because we were speaking about that before the camera as well. How Esau don't know how to show mercy. You know, you lock a person up for 150 years. Like, come on, bro. Where's the balance at in it? You know, but the Lord is the ultimate balance. Why? Because he rewards the good and he rewards the evil, and he creates the good and creates the evil, man. You know, so how can you get around that?
You can't.
You know.
So, you know, tying back into the lesson, shit, that what happened in 9/11, that was righteous judgment from the Lord because He ordained it. And it's a lot of people that have a big misconception about the Lord. Why would the Lord kill so many people? Because these motherfuckers is wicked. All right, and He seen it necessary that every last soul that died on that particular day, it was their time, man. It was time for that spirit in those bodies to be called back, man. Right. And to be judged. Some of those same souls that were taken in 2001 are back on the face of the earth today to meet the ultimate judgment, which is these missiles, man. So they're gonna meet death twice, man, in this lifetime. You said you got?
Yeah, I got some. This second Ezra chapter 14. Verse 35. It says, "For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again."
Yep. Hey, and that's a cut to these people that don't believe in reincarnation. Okay, because once your spirit leaves these vessels, man, it's going to the spirit world to be judged, and in judgment, and that's another thing. These people believe in hell, that it's a fucking red devil with a pitchfork underneath the ground waiting on the souls. No,
you just burn that.
And you just a spirit can't burn, man. Spirit is energy. That shit, all those fables and fucking Greek mythology that they tell you about in the church is total BS.